Now, on this channel, we have looked at countless creators who have conned their fans out of a ton of money. Today, we'll look at a scammer who flipped the script on this classic scheme and allegedly scammed big influencers out of $11 million. Now, not much is known about Sophia Nur other than that she is from Toronto and that she claimed to be a publicist. Now, after the story broke of her committing fraud and allegedly stealing all of this money, she deleted all of her social media accounts. And basically, if you've ever seen the movie Catch Me If You Can, she's the modern day Frank Abagnale Jr. Now, in November of 2021, a ton of influencers began to share their stories of being scammed by their friend, Sophia, and realized that they were not alone in losing tons of money to her scheme. As the pieces of this story started to fall into place, it was revealed that many creators gave her money after being promised something in return that would advance their careers in social media. Her promises of celebrity connections, access to exclusive events, backstage passes, and more gave Sophia acceptance into influencers' inner circles. Many of these influencers even paid in advance for fake brand trips that never ended up happening, and someone even gave her their credit card information. For 2 years, Sophia was flying all over the United States, living off of the money she was amassing from her scams. She was able to get cash, credit cards, food, flights, hotels, and more by pretending to be a publicist and socialite with connections that could take influencers' careers to the next level. Some of her victims included Jeff Wittek, Rickey Thompson, Denzel Dion, and Suzy Antonyan of the Vlog Squad. Now, this wasn't a super complicated scam. Sophia began her scam by simply going up to influencers at events, introducing herself, and claiming to know other big influencers. Nobody questioned if what she was saying was true, and never vetted the information with the people she claimed to know. Everyone just took Sophia's word for it. From 2019 to 2021, Sophia built up her socialite presence and got in the good graces of dozens of influencers while simultaneously scamming them out of their money. Her lies granted her access into parties and influencer hotspots all over LA, New York City, and Miami. She even got into the VMAs and one of Megan Thee Stallion's exclusive parties. When Sophia would go to a restaurant with a group of influencers, she would say that her card was getting declined and ask if they could cover her, and she would pay them back later on, which of course she never did. She also couch surfed for a while at different influencers' houses, always claiming to need a place to stay because she was unquote danger. A lot of influencers claim that they were very uncomfortable around Sophia, and others said that she was a full-blown stalker. Denzel Dion said that she still owed him money from a trip to Las Vegas, and according to Suzy Antonyan, Sophia is a pathological liar. Not everyone got the same story from Sophia. She told some people that one of her big connections in the industry was Drake and would often go to his mansion parties. To other people, she claimed to be pregnant with Jack Harlow's baby. She never seemed to tell a consistent story about her connection to Jack Harlow, but he was someone she would always bring up. Because she made up so many stories, they never matched up with each other. Her other stories included her being just friends with Jack, knowing him but not being that close, having his baby, aborting his baby, or being SA'd by him. And again, this is all alleged. Sophia would sometimes tell people that Jack Harlow would reimburse them when she would borrow money from them. She would even bring a bunch of influencers to parties claiming that Jack would get them into the VIP zone, but they would end up getting in by coincidence because they were all influencers, not because Sophia actually knew Jack. It is unclear what the real story is, but the truth is most likely that she never had any connection to Jack whatsoever, besides the one time he was seen talking to her directly. The truth about Sophia finally came to light when some of her close friends eventually became suspicious of her. These friends created a Twitter Spaces group called #SurvivingSophia. A lot of influencers were then added to this group and began to talk about how things didn't add up about their friend Sophia. A lot of influencers also went live on Twitter to talk about the situation. It took 2 years for these stories to finally be put together because Sophia took her victims from different friend groups. This way, no one would cross-reference the lies she was spewing. One of the stories shared in this group was that a group of influencers, including Rickey Thompson and Denzel Dion, were left stranded in an airport after Sophia told them she had a trip booked for them and herself to Las Vegas with everything paid for in advance. When they finally got to the airport, there was no record of her paying for anything, and someone else had to pay for the trip out of pocket. On a podcast with Dixie D'Amelio, Olivia O'Brien talks about how Sophia would follow her and her friends from party to party, claiming to know dozens of influencers, and ask people for money and free Uber rides.
Have you had a crazy fan experience?
I don't know if I had a crazy fan experience.
Or just like something weird.
There was actually, this is a really funny story. So you were in Atlanta. for the Jake Paul fight. This girl, this random girl, she came up to me. I'm not even kidding, this is like the craziest story ever. She came up to me and was like, I love your hair. And I was like, thank you so much, like, nice to meet you. And then she like turns around and then turns back around and was like, wait, are you Olivia? And I was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, oh, that's so cool, like, nice to meet you. Like, I'm here by myself, like, my work sent me. You know who I'm talking about?
I know who you're
Sophia,
talking about.
that was her name. Yeah, and she was like, she was like, my name's Sophia, like, I'm here alone. And I was like, that's so like scary. I would never be able to do that. And we were like talking, she seemed pretty normal. And then like my other friend Charlie comes over, and she was talking to her, and then they found out they had some mutual friends and whatever. She just kind of latches onto us for the night, and she comes into our like box, and she like leaves a bunch of stuff there. She just starts talking to like Jake and Logan's mom, and takes videos of like mini Jake Paul. His name is Titus. She asked him to take a video of her, and then she like was just talking to all these people, like saying she was friends with us, which is like, we just met her. I didn't know how to feel. Then she like leaves, and then she comes back and she's like, I left my charger, I left my, like saying that she left all these things, and then she lost her pass, and security tried to escort her out, and then she came back and was like, security told me like I couldn't be here, like can you just tell them that like, or I'm friends with you, like I lost my pass. And I was like, you don't have a pass, I don't know what to like tell you. So then she leaves again, and then she comes back again and is like, I lost my charger, I lost like some other thing that she lost, her ID or something. And they kick her out again. And then we leave and we go to this place, this after thing, and she shows up. And I don't know how she knew we were there or how she got in. She shows up there and she decides she wants to be best friends with my friend Miles. And they try to kick her out again because we didn't know, it was just friends.
Yeah.
And Miles was like, no, I know her, like she's friends with them. So they don't kick her out. Then she comes and somehow makes her way to Jake's house, somehow gets there. She like asked if she could come in our car, was like, there's no room, like I'm so sorry. She shows up at Jake's house, somehow gets through the gate with there's a code. I have no idea how this is even possible. Then she leaves there. Then the next morning, my friend is leaving her other hotel, and this girl is in the lobby, just sitting in the lobby, and she asked if she could get into her Uber.
I remember her because she came up to me and she was like, I work in PR, my boss sent me out here. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I just kept seeing her getting kicked out of place. I'm like, who did I just talk to? And then I saw her all night, and it kept running into her. I'm like, what?
She was everywhere.
I swear she talked to everyone because everyone was like, did you see? Yeah. Did anyone know who that was?
No, it was so crazy. And then like Logan walked in and she goes up to him and she was like, I'm so sorry for like being in your box and being around. And he was like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
He just walked into the whole building. It was the most insane thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like everywhere we went that night, she was there, and the next day.
On an episode of the Impulsive Podcast, Mike talks about his encounters with Sophia and how she would always seem to appear at every party, despite sometimes even being thrown out by security. He even says that she broke into their house.
We had a girl last night that I met at the event. She came up to me and she was like, "Oh, I work with Triller, and I'm so happy that I found you guys because I needed a friend to hang out with tonight. Yeah. And now you're my friend. You're my friend now." And she proceeded to find her way into every single setting throughout the course of the rest of the night, and was removed forcibly by security at every single event in Champions. Like she just kept coming back. Dog.
No, bro. I've never
dog.
Everywhere I looked,
after time.
this girl was there.
She was here at your house.
She somehow got into your house, dude.
Is this the same one that got kicked out?
Yes.
So the same girl?
GP, let me explain. I come here for the after. It's 4:30 a.m. I walk in. Chick's going in the bathroom like, yo, what's good? I'm like, dog.
Wait. She was here?
Yes.
She came here?
Yes. House.
No way.
I go up to Jake's security. I go,
Jake, we got to hire this chick.
oh, no.
You got a lot more persistence.
So wait. So that's what we said. When I told Logan, he goes, yo, I'm going to be honest. I think at this point, just let her stay.
I said, I'm more impressed by her ability to always be where I'm looking.
Well, she always forgot something. I don't know if anybody remembers.
As these stories came to light, some people began blaming the influencers involved. Jeff Wittek got blasted for being gullible because he gave Sophia his credit card information to get her out of danger. Sophia knew someone named Maggie who also knew Jeff. Sophia told Maggie that she works for Jeff and knew him as well. Later, Sophia told Maggie that she was essayed in Las Vegas and she needed to get out of there ASAP. Maggie called Jeff, told him what happened, and he gave her his credit card information over the phone to get Sophia an Uber, a flight, and a hotel room. Before deleting all of her social media accounts, Sophia attempted to clear her name. On Instagram, she wrote, "I just want to come on here for the last time and explain. These accusations have gone way too far. Just because your favorite influencers tell you something does not mean it's true in any way. I'm here to explain. First lie is that I snuck into someone's home while in LA begging for a place to stay. How is that possible if I was scamming all that money from Jack and Jeff? Wouldn't I have enough money to stay at a hotel I'm supposedly scamming? This is disgusting. The fact that y'all lie on me because I'm a black female in the US, CA, knowing racism still goes on in this world. Disgusting, and you guys are picking me to cancel. I'm not even a celebrity." Lie 2 is that I lied that I was pregnant with Jack Harlow's baby and he broke up with me so I can get into his apartment and he could give me money I begged for. First off, he gave me that money knowing damn well why. I'm not going to tell y'all the reason for the money being handed to me, but I'm going to give him a few to explain this himself, because if I expose this, it's over. Lie 3 is that I scammed a lupus charity. This is discrimination towards us black women. I will attach a picture of my lupus flare-up on here. I never lied and never scammed them. They are delusional and racist. I needed help and now they are harassing me. I would never scam such a place. Sorry. Lie 4 is that I scammed Jeff Wittek by stealing his credit card because he felt bad for me. Now, if you guys are this crazy to believe a lie like this, it's sad and you guys will never make it in the real world. Who the F gave a random their credit card? Make it make sense, please. He's obviously blaming it on me because of my ethnicity/race, just like Jack Harlow. And again, there's way more to the story. I'll let them tell before I do. Now, I saw on Reddit that there were a bunch of other people that were calling out the influencers, saying that Sophia may have used them for money, but they also used her for the perceived clout and connections. Let me know in the comments down below if you think the influencers should be blamed for falling for the scam and being gullible, or if Sophia is the only one at fault here. Now, as these allegations spread across Twitter and TikTok, another one of Sophia's victims came out. This time, it wasn't an influencer, but someone who said they were Sophia's cousin. On Twitter, Sophia's alleged cousin wrote, "Sophia Nur is my cousin and she scammed me and my friends and tried to ruin our lives in 2019. We have been waiting to tell this story for 2.5 years. Over the course of this time, I fronted her money that she promised me she was good for, showing us her online banking, which showed she had thousands of dollars. Hashtag surviving Sophia." In the Surviving Sophia thread, Halima explained that she and Sophia weren't close growing up because Halima lived in London and Sophia lived in the US. In 2019, Sophia told Halima she was going on a PR tour in the UK, needed a place to stay, and wanted to visit her. Halima decided to let her stay for a couple of months. During her stay, Halima let Sophia borrow money after Sophia claimed to be having issues with her bank. To prove she could pay Halima back, Sophia showed her a picture of her bank account with thousands of dollars in it. This screenshot was obviously fake, considering that Halima never saw this money again. Over the course of the stay, Halima lent Sophia about £1,000, only to later find out that she had actually stolen £500 more. Sophia told her cousin that she modeled for Louis Vuitton, had a record deal and a contract with BBC Radio 1, and so many more lies. Sophia also used the same lie back then that she would later use for her huge influencer scam when she told Halima and her friends all about the celebrities she could connect them to and the deals she could make happen for them. Sophia Nur told so many lies to so many different people that there is really no way to know what is true and what is false. Sadly, the only thing we can really know for certain is that the influencers she scammed are probably never going to get back any of the money she conned them out of. People on Reddit are keen on believing that Sophia is the GOAT for scamming rich influencers, but this opinion is pretty mixed. Some people also say that she shouldn't have scammed people at all. Now, the scamming to me is just a small issue compared to her alleged accusations claiming that Jack Harlow essayed her. She claims that it was a lie, but deleted all of her accounts before trying to elaborate on Jack Harlow, who actually never even responded to these accusations. So it kind of just seems like she was making claims that Jack Harlow essayed her. Now, this is all alleged, but if it was all a lie, then this is a bigger issue to people who actually are victims of SA, and it just seems like she was just playing into it to get more money out of like random influencers, which is kind of bad, because if they did come out and said like Jack Harlow tried to essay like Sophia Nur, then it would probably bury Jack Harlow's career without even any evidence. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to help us get just a little bit closer to 200,000 subscribers. If you have any YouTubers or TikTokers or content creators you want me to check out, the best way you can suggest them to me is by sending me a DM on IG or on my Discord. Both will be linked in the comments below. This is the end of the video. If you've made it this far, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. When we look at some of the most influential content creators on all of the internet, there's not too many that can top Mr. Beast and his influence. Not only does he pay out a ton of money to whoever wins whichever challenge video he's creating at the time, but he also has a philanthropist channel which gives back to the community that most people hate for some odd reason and criticize every video he